Hey guys, how's it going? Uh, it's your boy Minnow. Uh, Many of you guys know me as a stealthy player, uh, and I also just quick introduction because I haven't been on YouTube in a really long time. uh, I've played about 10 seasons in Masters at this point in time. Alliance War. I'm mainly an Alliance War player. Played a bunch of VGs. Um, and I am a tier 1 Alliance War planner, um, and basically a stealthy merchant. And a lot of people have been asking me about stealthy gameplay, stealthy showcase, and just basically asking how to play stealthy. Can you please teach me all these things? And so now I'm finally making a video, putting it all into one. I'm going to be showcasing a ton of stealthy content in here. I know it's a long video. Um, I hope that you stick around for it and watch it. I'm going to start out with relics, best relics to use. I'm going to go over the kit. I'm going to go over stat focuses and basically how to fully max out your stealthy and how to max out his damage potential. I'm going to go over suicides versus not suicides, matchup spread, and synergies, and talk about his kit and all kinds of stuff in this video. So it's going to be a long one. Strap in, but this is going to be everything you need to know to play and use Stealth 2 Spider-Man. And I'm really excited about this. This is awesome. This is my favorite champion. He's been pretty much always been my favorite champion in this game. He's not my favorite Marvel character. My favorite Marvel character is Magic. But in this game, he is just by far my favorite and will always be my favorite. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So here, I'm live in the game right now. I will disclaimer, all the footage for today, besides me like doing a little intro teaching, is all going to be pre-recorded, and I'm going to commentate over it. It's mostly war. I think it's all war except for a couple of clips in the beginning. But yeah, let's get right into it. So my stealthy is rank 5, Sig 200. Right now, you can see he has 80,000 prestige. That's because I have suicides on right now. The best stat focuses to run are going to be your armor penetration for attack. That's because he crits so much of the time with his SP1 that he doesn't need the crit rating or crit damage. Crit damage would be the second best one to run. But if you're running the Karnak Relic, which we'll talk about here in a minute, armor penetration is going to be just the best one. I've done the numbers. Essentially, it breaks down to about 2,000 to 3,000 more damage per hit on your combo. So you have a double medium, hit, double medium to end. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hit combos. If you do like the full finish combo, or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7 hit combos. I don't know why I don't know that off the top of my head. I don't actually finish my combos a lot of the time because of light intercepts. But essentially, each one of those hits is going to be doing an additional 2,000-ish damage if on crit, sometimes even more with armor penetration. Whereas crit damage rating actually only boosts it a little bit because all of his damage is physical. The armor penetration bypasses that, and it turns into direct damage towards him. Critical rating, you don't need that stat focus because his critical rating is so immensely boosted by his SP1. And then another stat focus you could run is block proficiency, just because he has a low health pool, or physical resistance. But honestly, you just want damage. You're not blocking too much with Stealthy if you're playing him properly. And then for defensive, I just do block penetration. You can do whatever you want to do for defensive. He's not really a defensive champion, although sometimes, at rank 5, he can be there. So going down to his synergies, we have Bad for Business. This one is it's pretty good for like questing purposes if you're doing a lot of enervate, but you never bring this to war. It's better just bring like Wet Magneto, Wags, or someone else like that. And then next one is Stark Internship. So Stark Internship, this one allows you to actually bypass Node 43 Hazard Shift if you start with a slow, but then you have to get good RNG for your first 5 hits. So that's a little bit of a hit or miss one. But yeah, I don't really use that one ever, hardly ever. Spider-Man in Black, this one is decent. Has some unique uses actually. I think that it might be pretty good against. Yeah, it has unique uses. I actually don't know where I would personally use it. Some people have said like Node 42 in Alliance War. I think that was there's still way better options. And then Spider-Man Stealth Suit, yeah. This one with Electro called Culture Shock. This one's pretty good. If you have the Fury up, it just gives better. As long as you have your Spider Sense up, so your Evade, which is 100% chance, then it just gives you plus 15% on your potency for your Fury. So none of these synergies are actually that important for him. But if we go over to the science and look at Scorpion, if you're going to be a stealthy player, you need to have Scorpion. Stealthy is, I think, an A tier champion on his own, especially for BGs. Extremely fast, extremely good. It has some really crazy utility that we're going to get into when you look at his kit. But then when you go and add Scorpion, he becomes an S tier champion, and I think it's just really hard to deny that. He's just so good when he has Scorpion on the team, and I'm gonna explain why. It is because of this synergy right here. JJJ demanded it. So Spider-Man Stealth Suit. Dashing back causes Spider-Man's web cartridge debuff to be paused for 3.5 seconds. If you know Stealthy, you know what I'm getting at. If you don't know Stealthy, he has 3 different types of debuffs he can place. Let me go back and go on to the champion himself. Start looking at his kit. So, pre-fight abilities. He has 3 different types. Right here, it says Spider-Man starts the fight with 5 charges of his loaded web charges. And those 3 different types are called Tranquilizer, Web Foam, and Flashbang. So, highlighted here, Tranquilizer, 100% chance to inflict enervate, preventing the opponent from gaining power when struck for 3.75 seconds. So, on its own, it's pretty mid, to be honest with you. It's good for some matchups in BGs, like Nico. But when you're talking about... And remember what I said about the Scorpion synergy that pauses everything. When you add Scorpion in there, every single time you dash back, it pauses that debuff for 3.5 seconds. No matter what. So if you're just spamming dash back, every dash back resets that timer, and it is an infinite pause. That is just unbelievably broken if you think about that, because then he can infinitely pause Enervate, which is a debuff that basically stops the opponent from gaining any form of power except for combat power and passive power gain. And there's only 2 champions in the entire game that are immune to this Enervate effect, one of them being Terrax, and the other one is escaping my mind, both of which you're not going to see on Alliance War defense that often, or in BGs or anything like that. So you don't really have to worry about that. This is his most powerful mechanic, and we're going to see it in about 80% of the videos that I'm going to show you tonight. His next Web Foam cartridge is his next cartridge is Web Foam. 100% chance to inflict a slow debuff for 12 seconds while the opponent is slowed. Spider-Man cannot miss. So he's actually has one of the only slows in the entire game, maybe the only slow, that bypasses Miss, Evade, and Unstoppable. It's all 3. It's the big 3. So champions that have Unstoppable in their kit, it's done. Champions that have Miss in their kit, it's done. All falter nodes bypasses them completely. Falter unstoppable nodes bypasses. This is a huge thing on Alliance War for Alliance War attack. He just absolutely clears so many nodes that have these the 3 debuffs evade. So he can be taking node 40, which is Mixmaster. He can take node 47, which has the falter and the unstoppable. He can make node 23. Which has the falter node. He can just take so much stuff on the map with this slow pre-fight. A really common placement is Deathless Thanos on node 23 or node 38 or node 47 actually. And he bypasses all of those because he can bypass Thanos' unstoppable while also bypassing the falter. And it's just a 2-in-1, and you actually heal from the panic debuff because you're hitting an unstoppable Deathless Thanos, but you're not getting punished for it. And he infinite with Scorpion, he again infinitely pauses that debuff. Moving on to Flashbang, this is a 100% chance to inflict a fragility debuff when attacking a fragile opponent, increase critical damage rating by 1,518.75, and decrease their block proficiency by 50%. Again, this gets paused 100% of the time on dashbacks with Scorpion. And this just increases, makes his damage go crazy. It makes his basics hit for like 30,000 just as a rank 5. And he's critting and hitting so much and doing so much damage. It's just ridiculous. This specific one is really... this is for questing and BGs. I barely ever use for Flashbang unless I'm taking node 32 because the debuffs get purified anyway. So I just want maximum damage on my combos. Node 32 is Mighty Charge and Ebb and Flow Intercept, for anyone wondering. So yeah, those are the 3 debuffs. This is basically Stealthy's kit. And then on top of this, and so these are all pre-fights. If no cartridge is actually selected, no pre-fight selected, he auto goes to Flashbang. He does refresh his persistent charge every single time he backs out of fight, whether he dies, whether it's the next fight. Whatever happens, he's always going to have one before going into a fight. You never have to worry about that. And then, so let's talk about his specials, because this introduction on Stealthy is taking a long time before we're even getting into any content. So his special attack 1, a big thing on this special is basically the first special you're always going to throw in any Stealthy fight. So to start out a Stealthy fight, I'm going to actually backtrack a little bit. You want to land 4 lights in a row to place your debuff. No matter which debuff you select, it's your first 4 lights are going to place that debuff on the opponent. So say I select Enervate, I'm going to parry light, and it's going to place to Enervate. I'm going to immediately dash back with Scorpion Synergy Deposit, parry, light again, place the second Enervate. Once you place 2 debuffs of any of the 3 debuffs that Stealthy has in his kit, it will gain you a passive Fury. This Fury, I actually don't know its... One second here. I need to read. His Fury Pass, it gains his attack rating by 17,000 for 25 seconds. This is fully paused every time he dashes back, and this does not require the Scorpion Synergy. It's very important to remember. Passive debuffs on himself, Furies, and Precisions are paused infinitely on dashbacks regardless of Scorpion Synergy. So you need to place those double debuffs in almost any matchup you do because it is going to increase your damage by 17,000. That's a huge number. It's one of the biggest attack increases in the game that you can just get without synergy or anything like that. And then his signature ability is very, very simple. Increased potency of Fury passes by 40%. So he increases that by 40%. So that's bringing you up to another probably around 8,000 damage. So you're actually doing around 25,000 attack, plus 25,000 attack rating at a Sig 200 level. It's mind-blowing. it does so much damage, and we're going to see that here in a second. So once you get your double debuffs off, you want to actually throw your SP1, and that's going to provide a precision passive that increases critical rating by 10,000 or 10,800 for 20 seconds. And this is, again, permanently paused as long as you dash back, no matter what, without synergy. Now, the really important thing to keep in mind here is that your SP1 will not give you the precision passive if you don't have your evade passive. You start out the fight with a permanent evade that doesn't go away, has no cooldown until you get a hit. Any hit that's going to hit you, you auto evade no matter what. It's a 100% flat chance to evade, unless there's something stopping you from evade, like evade fail, or like if you are ensnared, you're not gonna be able to evade. Like anything that stops evade, doesn't bypass that. But if there's nothing that stops evade, it's a 100% chance to invade the next incoming basic attack, which is a huge safety net. It's such an underrated safety net. People just take it so much for granted. It's an incredible feature in Stealthy. If he does not have this evade passive, he will not get the precision passive on his SP1. So that's a common thing for even myself to mess up in a fight, is losing the evade charge and then having to throw SP1, which will it reactivates that evade charge. It also has a 25-second cooldown, so you can just wait and dash around and wait and dance around. But essentially, you want to get your 8 lights off to get 2 debuffs, and then throw your SP1, and then you will be almost guaranteed crits with a 26,000 attack rating, and that's how you just do so much damage. And imagine all that damage on top of not having to bait a single special attack because the opponent is enervated. Now you're kind of seeing how broken this champion is. And then on top of that, you have slow if you need to take care of a slow node, or you have more damage. You bypass unstoppable, miss, evade completely. You bypass any champion that throws specials that is really annoying, so you can take bullseyes, you can take enchantresses, you can take Blue Marvel this tactic. All the tactic defenders, whenever they cross a bar of power in season 66 and 67, all those tactic, they get inexorable. Inexorable increases power rate when hit, combat power rate when hit. But if they're enervated, they actually don't even cross the bar of power. The tactic has nothing. The tactic is just completely negated. This in Alliance War currently with Stealthy and Enervate. So his SP2 is a very important thing for non-Scorpion synergy rotations, for slow and fragility. It has an increased web cartridge debuff, so it has 250% duration, and every time you end a 4th light after that, your refresh of that debuff also is refreshed on a 250% duration. So you can actually do a non-Scorpion synergy 100% uptime, slow, and fragility debuff rotation. And then your SP3 is part of that rotation, because your SP3 gives you back all your web charges. You have 5 web charges in a fight. That's how you manage the flow of the fight. So that's basically Stealthy. There's some more stuff in there. There's a little bit more nuance in the kit, but that's the brief version. I know it's already been 20 minutes into this video, but that is the brief, as brief as I can make it, and you might be surprised how complicated such a simple champion is. So let's just jump over to Realm of Legends Winter Soldier real quick, just because I want to show in kind of in slow, and while I'm explaining it, his rotation. We're gonna actually, I mean, the 6-star is fine, whatever. Actually, no, let's put the 7-star in here. I don't know why the 6-star is in here. I think I was doing testing a duel for war. So if we're looking at this, we're going to actually put the Enervate debuff on, so you'll see what that does. And you can see up here, that little diamond is important that it's there. And now we're going to go into the fight. I'm going to start out with a light opener, and so that's by just tapping the screen. and he blocks, so that's annoying. But I'm gonna do light, 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 and it puts the enervate. Now you see right here, you see how the enervate's completely paused? That's because I'm pausing it every time I'm dashing back. Now I'm gonna do light, 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 place another one, and now you see how I just got a passive fury up there next to my poison. Now I'm hitting for a lot more. Now I'm gonna throw a SP1. I'm gonna get a passive precision, and you see that big crit? Because now all my hits are gonna crit, and now he's not gaining any power. We haven't baited a single special, and he just goes down like that. I mean, the damage is just disgusting. I was going slow to show you the rotation, but that's essentially the stealthy rotation. Again, you can apply slow or you can apply it for fragility. It's pretty awesome. Before we get into the showcase gameplay and all the different stuff that Stealthy can do and the fights that he can take, I just want to go talk about relics real quick. Not collectives, relics. It will filter to the skill class relics. I'm just going to say there's a big misconception in this community that Black Panther here is the best relic for Stealthy. This is completely incorrect, as he only has one or two things in the description of this relic that actually makes him good. First of all, last hit grants a cruelty buff, increasing critical damage by 125. That's fine and that's good. But that's only every so often when your spirit gauge is filled and you have to throw a relic. It only benefits you for 10 seconds every so often. It's not permanent benefit. The second part is guaranteed critical hits grant plus 12.24 flat critical damage rating on critical hits for the rest of the fight. He doesn't have guaranteed critical hits, so this is just not good. Stealthy's attacks are not guaranteed. It's just an extremely high critical rating. So that whole part of the kit of this relic is just negated. The other part is that your SP2 does increased damage. You're not throwing specials with Stealthy if you're playing Stealthy properly. I mean, you are, because you're having to get your passive. You have to get your passive cruelty on, but you're not throwing specials with Stealthy to do damage. You're either doing it to get a longer debuff or something like that, but his whole thing is basic attacks, so you're never really benefiting from the Black Panther Civil War relic. And then the last part of it is there's a lot of mystic matchups, especially in high tier Alliance War, that you're doing, and you're trying to enervate that opponent, and when you've done a 4-hit combo and then you've enervated them, they're close to that first bar of power, and your whole point sometimes in these matches is to never bait a special. Example, Enchantress. If you're fighting an Enchantress, you want her never to throw a special because she gains her spells. With Enervate, you allow that you stop that completely. But if you have the Black Panther relic and you throw that relic, you're going to put a buff on yourself that's not dexterity, that cruelty buff. It's not a passive. When it expires, Enchantress will jump to a bar of power because most defensive, like in high tier war, defensive champions are placing with max MD, and so you're just nerfing what you're trying to do with Stealthy by using Black Panther. So please, for all the Stealthy users out there that use Black Panther, stop using Black Panther and use one of these two Karnak relics. There's a huge argument for this Karnak relic here. And that is because the secondary is physical damage, physical penetration. The first is critical damage rating. You need the first one to be critical damage rating. This allows your critical damage to just go higher, and it's a permanent stat. This relic doesn't happen when you activate the relic or anything. It literally just base stats up your champion 100% of the fight. That's a huge thing for these stat cast relics. It's literally stats. So you want that, and it increases your damage by a substantial amount, especially at rank 5 when these percentages are going off of bigger numbers. And then your secondary, physical penetration, this one's good, but you're critting so much that it actually, I've found that I have more damage on this relic. And that's just because it just gives that little edge of critical rating. When I use this relic, my hits are bigger, but the amount of times I'm critting is less. Whereas on this relic, I'm critting almost 100% of the time, because his SP1, his crit rating basically makes it so it's like 90% crit rate, but with this relic, it's like almost 100%. So if I go into this relic and look at it, you can see the stats here, that on as an attacker, I'm getting plus 92.16 critical rating, but that's actually, I had this relic at Sig 200, which most people are not going to have a 7-star relic at Sig 200, but if you do, I focused all my resources into this because I'm a stealthy merchant. This is getting increased by 75%, so it's that 95% stat times 75%, and same for the critical damage rating. It is a huge boost. This relic does so much for stealthy, and you should absolutely run it, whether it's the 5, 6, or 7-star. Run your Karnak relics on it. If you don't have Karnak, please run your Bullseye relics. It's pretty much just as good. And that's just because of the constant power, like constant stats that it's giving you. So yeah, that is even though it's been a long time, the brief and detailed rundown of Stealth 2 Spider-Man, my favorite champion in MCOC, and how you should be running him. And so yeah, now it's time to dive into some gameplay, and I've kind of edited together a 30-minute chunk of gameplay, which we'll watch here, and I'll commentate over it and stuff like that. But it's going to start out with 2 videos that are not in war. It's just going to showcase a really fast Winter Soldier takedown and a really fast Realm of Legends Red Hulk takedown, just so you can see kind of his questing potential. And then we'll jump into some Alliance War gameplay. All the Alliance War videos that you're going to see today, they are all in Tier 1. So it's the highest level of node and health pool and attack rating available to us in this game currently. A lot of these defenders are going to be rank 5. I have a very even spread of path fights, node diversity, mini bosses, and then some really cool boss fights available to you. And if you need to, I have at this point in time over 300 solos in Tier 1 with Stealthy. If you have any questions at all, or need any tips or tricks, or need a video of a node or a fight with Stealthy, whether if you're planning, or you have a friend who's taking a fight, or you're taking a fight, please just reach out, add me on Discord. It's Minnow, same as my name here on the screen, Minnow MCOC, and you can, happy to send you anything. So yeah, let's jump into the first video here. We're gonna go over to my camera roll. Yeah, and let's let me make this fit the screen a little bit. I'm not sure why it's like that. All right, cool. Yeah, let's get right into it. So yeah, here is just a fun little Winter Soldier video, and this is about as fast as I could get it. This is with boosts and suicides, by the way, just disclaimer. That's a 14-second Winter Soldier takedown. Here's a Realm of Legends Red Hulk, and this is, I am using the Enervate pre-fight. You can see here he's not going to gain a single bar of power. SP1 for more damage, and I'm just going to hit the damage cap. Almost hitting damage cap on every single basic attack hit. It's just disgusting. There's damage cap. And here we're in Assassin's range. As you can see, so much damage. And that is 500,000 health down. Or is that 1.5 million down in 34 seconds. Here we're taking on, I think it's node, is this node 2 Bullseye? I actually didn't catch it quite right away. I'll be able to tell here in 1 second. Yes, this is node 2 Bullseye. And with Enervate, I don't have to worry. Like, you gain prowess by not doing combat deja vu here. I don't care. I have my enervate debuffs up. I'm getting my crit precision passive up here. And as you can see, Bullseye only threat as a champion, as a defender, is throwing specials. So here we have Node 5 Cassandra Nova. So this is class disadvantage. I think I'm still going to go for Enervate here. So light opener, yeah, Enervate. So I'm not going to let her throw any specials. So there is what I'm talking about when mistakenly getting hit. That evade completely saved me. I didn't lose my combo or anything. So now I don't get the precision, but I refresh my evade on my SP1. Now I want you to notice one other thing. You see how I have 2 passive Furies there? That is actually because Stealthy, so Ebb and Flow knockdown was what this node is. It gives you a passive Fury. Stealthy has in his kit, remember, that he can permanently pause all passive Furies on dashback. So he actually fully pauses all Ebb and Flow nodes across the entire game just by dashing back. All you have to do, dash back, it pauses that Fury, the protection will never come back. So all of Path 5 in, I think, all tiers of Alliance War, you completely pause it with Stealthy. It just completely turns off the node. All you have to do for the first section, Section 1 Path 5s, you just knock down Section 2 Path 5s, you intercept once, it is paused for the rest of the fight. It's huge. Same for Node 38. That's Ebb and Flow knockdown. He completely pauses that fight. Here we're going to see Section 2, Path 5. This is Ebb and Flow intercept Rhino. Here I am going to have my slow pre-fight because Rhino has Unstoppable and the node has Falter. So see, I got my intercept and now I have 2 Furies on myself and I have 2 Furies on myself. I'm faltered. I'm bypassing the miss of the falter. I'm bypassing his Unstoppable. He's slowed. And I'm pausing the Ebb and Flow knockdown node. I'm literally bypassing everything, every single threat on this entire node and this champion. I'm bypassing right now. And I permanently pause it because I have Scorpion on the team, and that's just also how Stealthy works. So that's a rank 4 Sig 200 Rhino down in 36 seconds in tier 1. Here we're going against, this is node 4. So this is a scary node if they throw specials. And I'm going class disadvantage against an ascended rank 4 bishop. But I'm just going to enervate, and he can gain all the prowess and regen and everything that he wants. And I don't care because I'm stealthy, I have enervate, and I have massive hits. And even with class disadvantage, I am hitting for close to 30,000 damage per basic attack hit. I mean, 24 seconds for a rank 4, and it's just over. Here we have that same, this is that node 23. This is the extremely common placement across all high tier alliances is Nova. This is a rank 4 ascended Nova, and he is actually tactic right now, so he gets the inexorable. I'm still going to go slow here. This fight actually starts out a little bit wonky, but I just need to get my slow up, and then it's just fine. After this, it's completely fine. I get my first phase. He crossed a bar of power, so he has inexorable. But at this point in time, I have paused the node. I am now getting my passive cruelty to crit. I've paused the node. I don't have to worry about falter, and I'm just gonna do so much damage to him that Nova is an extremely easy matchup for Stealthy, especially on this node, because he just does so much damage. As you can see, it's literally been only a couple combos, and now I can just combo him to death. I don't have to worry about anything. When he's not tactic, that fight's so much easier, so much smoother. Here is node 40 Punisher, I believe. And Punisher's a scary defender. But I get a little parry there. But when he's enervated, guess what? He doesn't throw a single special. I don't have to worry about baiting a special. And his AI is not playing into me very well here, but that's okay. I'm not super worried about it. We're just going to get a little bit rooted. We just have to wait this root out. But see, he's not getting any power. And now I'm going to have him in the corner. And now a thing you can do with Stealthy, his light reach is really long. You can actually just light intercept in the corner. Do your combos, dash back light. I'm getting my cruelty up. Annoying thing is that you do sometimes have to parry, and when the indestructible's up on Punisher, you do get a bleed. But I'm just going to willpower it, and there is better options like Dazzler for this specific placement, but it is extremely easy and very cheesy with Stealthy here. As you can see, here's a nice little intercept chain. Now I'm just keeping the hitting on him. Little pause back. Another thing is that's a very important mechanic actually with Stealthy, is to be able to throw your relic, immediately dash back, and then come back in. That allows you to pause in a longer combo. It pauses those debuffs again, so you can keep going on your combo. This is a really scary fight. This is node 14 Enchantress. So you have to get your spells off on this fight. In this specific matchup, this goes extremely well, but it's a little bit RNG based. If she gets misspell, you have to get the spells off and invul tank a hit. But as you can see, the slow is bypassing unstoppable on heavy hitter, and I am also completely pausing the node again because it's ebb and flow knockdown. And I'm not going to let her throw a single special by hard blocking. And that fight is really fast when it goes well. 38 seconds, not a problem at all. That is an example of utilizing the slow utility on Stealthy and not just always cheesing with Enervate. Here we have Ascension 2 rank 4 Lizard on node 47. This fight actually gets a little bit suspicious. I am going to Enervate here and play into the node. And it does take quite a while. I do have Wags because the Wag stuns allows me to actually dash back, pause, and come back in, almost like a relic does. But the regen you're going to see here is, I mean, he's already regenning 9,000 per second. But you can see I'm critting for 30,000 per hit. So when I'm doing 130,000 damage per combo, I don't care too much about his regens. And I would kill him a lot faster here if I didn't have to play into the stupid unstoppable node. I have to keep backing up to make sure the unstoppable goes on myself and not him, because I don't have the slow. And the only reason that I'm not just going slow on this fight, which allows me to just completely hit into him, is because if he crosses a bar of power, Lizard is actually tactic right now. Any other season, I would just bait specials and play this with a slow debuff. Because he's tactic right now, Enervate allows me to keep him in his corner and allows me not to get cornered. It is actually one of the very few deaths I've had with Stealthy is this season against the Lizard, embarrassingly. But you see he actually goes down there. It does take a little bit longer as a minute, 17 seconds. That's because of that healing. Here's another really fun example of Path 5, and this is Deathless Thanos, and this is kind of what I was explaining in the beginning of this video, is how when you slow Deathless Thanos, all I need to do now is get an intercept off, and this is just completely shut off. Deathless Thanos is going to get his unstoppable, you're going to see. So now I've intercepted, so now I've paused the ebb and flow intercept node, and now look, I'm hitting into unstoppable. So I'm getting the panic debuff on me, and because of willpower, I'm actually healing off of that panic buff. And you'll see that it takes one combo for me to get to each protection phase, because I'm just hitting so much. Here's another combo right into protection phase again. And this, I mean, Deathless Thanos is not a weak boy. He's a beefy boy. So, yeah. Another protection. That was half a combo to his next protection. And now SB2 should just finish him off. Look at that. 100% health finish. Easy. Less than a minute. It's a rank 4, maybe even rank 5. I didn't even check. Deathless Thanos. Next, this is actually Spider Woman on node 32. This is very sketchy because she actually purifies the debuffs that you just saw there on a dash. So I need to get intercept off, but I need to have my slow up on this fight, and so I'm playing very aggressive. I've paused the intercept node, and I'm just playing very aggressive to keep that slow up so she doesn't evade me, and it ends up working really well. So again, Spider Woman down in 25 seconds in tier 1. It's nutty. Here is one of my favorite matchups with Stealthy is against Photon, and that is because when you can enervate a Photon and then you can sidestep her. This is on node 4. So I'm reverse controlled the entire time, and I have to nail my my sidesteps here, and it's okay if I knock her down when she's past 10 charges, because she can go into pure light because she's not going to have any specials. She's not going to throw a single special, which also is nice because on this node I don't have to turn off willpower. I mean, she turns off willpower regardless, so you don't have to if no Photon's placed here. But she's designed to mess you up on this node because of throwing specials. So that's 100% health finish, 40 seconds against a Photon with reverse controls. Here's a fun fight. This is rank 4 Penny Parker on node 3. Penny doesn't really do too much on this node, but you're going to see I'm going to enervate her, and she's never going to throw a special. To get my Fury up, and now that I have the Fury, I'm going to actually be able to take this shield down really fast. If she would hold block, I think I had a little bit of problem. But you see, it's almost like I'm a cosmic champion, removing that shield. Each hit does so much damage, especially because that Fury has that crazy block. It has the block 50% block penetration once you get your Fury. Or no, that's fragility. My bad, I misspoke. But now it's a super easy fight. She's enervated, and I'm doing tons of power, tons of damage, and she just goes down. So I thought I'd just include that. It's a funny little fight. I don't know if you've been noticing, but most of these fights are all sub 1 minute. Except for this one is not going to be sub 1 minute, but this is also really good tech. So this is node 19, Dark Phoenix on the energy node, and we're gonna also enervate. Dark Phoenix is one of the meanest, baddest, biggest defenders in this game. Requires entire path splits and counters, but with Stealthy, if she's placed on the right node, and which is a lot of the time actually where she's placed. Oftentimes people put Dark Phoenix in node 9. Stealthy can't deal with Hazard Shift. It's his downfall. There was one meta where Stealthy actually was able to do Hazard Shift nodes, which was just disgusting, but not anymore. Anyways, we're just going to enervate, and I also misspoke completely because I'm now seeing that this is node 46, and I'm an idiot for calling it node 19. I've taken her a lot of times on node 19, but I'm seeing the combat power rate increased buff there, and also that she's getting an extrable on parry. An interesting thing about this, I do run Assassin. I love the Assassin Mastery. I like the increased damage, especially for someone like Stealthy. It has a 5% chance to fail abilities, and I don't know if you've noticed here, but I have failed her Nova Flame on death. That's one thing that you do have to deal with when you're taking Dark Phoenix, is that on death immunity, she will, you will get that Nova Flame, but here I fail it, so that's a really nice health finish against a node 46 Dark Phoenix. That was super satisfying to do. Minute 34 seconds. Next, we're coming into probably my all-time favorite fight for Stealthy, and that's also partly because of the node. This is node 32, or sorry, node 38. That's Ebb and Flow knockdown with buff immunity on knockdown, debuff immunity. So what I'm going to do here is I have a Wags which bypasses that, so I can stun and wait out this buff immunity stage, both for myself and on her. Now I can go in for my 4 lights, enervate, go in for my second 4 lights, get my Fury, And now I'm just going to, because I started out with the PS1 for the knockdown, because I paused the node on that knockdown. I also get the cruelty passive because of the PS1, and now I'm just max ramp after, like, just 8 combo, and she never throws a single special in 34 seconds, and it's done. Um, Super easy. Here's another complete cheese. Count Nefaria No 39, known to be a menace with the way that his debuffs work, and he's always just gaining power, and when he's unstoppable and has evade is disgusting. But if he's enervated, he's never going to throw a special. Nothing to worry about here at all. In fact, his debuffs heal me because he's not getting enough on myself. So I'm willpowering these bad boys, and it's just literally a dream. He's never going to throw a special, so rich get richer doesn't matter at all. He doesn't going to get any buffs, so I can just dex, and you saw me getting the rich get richer buff. I actually don't want to, though, because it fuels his power gain, and then he gets power gain. So yeah, that's a really cheap fight. You can take a lot in node 39. This is node 40 Lumitrix. It's a very common placement for Lumitrix, especially with Serpent Bands. This is Mix Master and Obstinate Charge, but with Wags, I can parry once, and I can do my weird combo with slow rotation. What that is with a Wags debuff, you can actually do light, 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 medium, light. That will bypass that first Mix Master combo and give you your 4 lights to place your slow. And then you can just play the fight normally like that, get your second slow, get your second fury, get your precision charge up, and I mean, look at this, I'm just doing so much damage. It's not even a problem, and I don't ever have to parry again. There, I had no soul barbs on, or none of the obstinate charges on me, so it was fine. So I went for another parry just to get the fight done. So 37 seconds for a rank 4 Lumitrix. Here is node, I think this is also Mixmaster. I think this is also node 40. Modok. So I do light, 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 medium, light. Yeah. All right. So this is also Mixmaster Modok. This is a weird fight. You have to play into protections weirdly because, as you can see, I only have 1 parry left here, and I need to knock down. So now I have to get my combo past 15 to remove an obstinate charge so that I can parry again to get my next availability to knock down, if that makes sense. So here I get to parry it one more time because I've gone past the combo, but now I'm fully ramped. Yeah, and now I have an SP1 in case, which is nice. I think I throw SP1 and it gets auto blocked, but when you get auto blocked, yeah. So I'm gonna throw SP1 to get auto blocked. When you get auto blocked, that removes that, and so now I have my relic. I'm going to reapply the slow. Now I have the relic I can knock down, and that just kills. So that's a really fun fight. Against sub 1 minute, Modok can be a real pain. This fight is really scary sometimes. So this is Enchantress on node 38. It's the same strategy we did when you saw me take the node 38 Nico. So I'm going to power start 1, knock her down, and then wait out. And you can see here, I don't knock her down, which really sucks. And now I have to remove spells, and I'm stuck in this area, in this place where now I need to knock her down to remove that. And now she's almost at a bar again. So I actually am going to lose. I'm not going to get hit, but I'm going to lose quite a bit of health because I think I block a special. Yeah, because I went enervate because the whole goal is that you don't let her get to a bar of power. But, sometimes you can't help it. And now I can only basic attack. Fortunately, I get really lucky here, I think. This is a little bit of RNG. But I have to bait this heavy, punish it, and then, thank God, I think she goes in here for, yeah. So now I'm just going to relic combo. Normally this goes way better. I just wanted to show what can happen and how you have to clutch it out if some things go wrong. I think that's the only video actually I have in here of things kind of going sideways, and Stealthy can still clutch it out. Here we have Node 49 Blue Marble. So this guy is actually tactic, and when he throws specials, he can actually be quite a menace on defense. And so every time he gains a bar, he'll get that, the inexorable, and that's no good. But if he's enervated, guess what? Not a problem. I do mess up this fight. And that's not I already messed it up. And the way I messed it up is that you always need a power start 1, and I completely blanked on that. On node 49, you can't gain any power from any source. So power start 1 allows you to get that cruelty passive by throwing that right in the beginning. And I didn't, so I'm doing this whole fight without cruelty passive. But I think it's a good showcase of that, how his damage is still really good regardless of that cruelty. But you can see I was critting way less. It would just be so much faster. So I would have gotten flamed if I was like in GT40 or Salty or something like that, trying to fight for time. Here we have Rhino again on node 40. So I'm going to do light, medium, light. Not my slows placed. Light, medium. Oh, I didn't get my last... Oh no, I guess I did get another slow on. So now this fight is going well. As you can see, I have Soul Barb on here, so I'm trying not to dex. If I dex, I start taking damage. It's because I messed up my combo in the beginning a little bit. This was actually before, you see my dex buff caused me to do a lot of damage, but the Soul Barb went away, thank God. They actually fixed this so that Obstinate Charge didn't require reparry, which is part of the reason why it caused my Lizard death this past season. But as you can see, super safe fight, as long as you have Wags in your slow pre-fight. You bypass the Unstoppable on Rhino, and you bypass the evade on the Mixmaster. Here is node 47 Soccer. This one is specifically for you, Sam. You said you don't like doing this fight unless you have Wags. You do not need Wags in this fight. You're just going to do your slow pre-fight to bypass the node and get your combos off here, and it's as simple as that. I'm going to go in here, drop my SP1. I drop it behind myself because I know that he's going to auto block, and so it just gives me kind of some better spacing there. Now I'm fully ramped, and this fight is literally just basic attacks and baiting specials at this point in time. There's nothing else to it. Little light intercept here. He always goes for the intercept in the corner because Shulker's AI is disgustingly... He always wants to dash at you with the unblockable, so you can pretty much guarantee it on that. But Sam, that one's for you. It's an easy fight, sub 1 minute. And then let's go to the next one. This is another Bullseye. I think this is Bullseye on node 49. So this is another fun example of just cheesing Bullseye at a higher health pool. Again, I also mess up this fight because I didn't bring in my Power Start 1. I don't think about it because I don't take this node that often. But Bullseye's being really annoying here, and you don't really want him to be doing that. You want to get him in the corner and spam lights like this. So as you can see here, this is the prime Stealthy rotation, and that is just, doing shortened combos and spamming your light intercept in the corner. When the opponent doesn't have power, they are pretty likely to do this. This is ridiculously good AI, but it's also Bullseye. He likes to dash at you, likes to hit you. You see there, it was a little bit weird. You actually have a pretty decent recovery time on your intercept there, so if you're missing your light attack intercept, you have a decent amount of time to dash out and dex if the timing's not right. But you can see here, that was very fun. Just over a minute. I always like to keep my Stealthy fights under a minute, but it didn't work out this time. Here we're coming up on our boss fights. So this is a Photon boss. This is a rank 5 Photon. And this is 1.5 million health in Tier 1 Alliance War. And you're going to see how Stealthy just absolutely tears through photons. I was given a lot of shit for this fight, actually, because we had a rank 5 Crossbones on the map, and everyone's like, oh, Crossbones is going to take it so much faster. And I agree with you. Crossbones probably would have done this in like 45 seconds. But Stealthy's more fun. Also, Inequity kills Stealthy, whereas Crossbones just purifies all that and ramps up. But, I mean, for 1.5 million health against a Photon, which she's known for being annoying to fight, I'm decently pleased. As you can see, those SP2 hits would normally be about 68,000 damage, maybe it's close to 70,000 damage class advantage. And with Inequity, they were pushed down to 58,000. But you see here, she goes down easily without this hit taken in 1 minute and 5 seconds. That's not too shabby, considering the Inequity. Here we have a Nico boss. This is actually the last boss of Season 66. And I was supposed to use Scorpion, but I was like, it's the last fight. I gotta test out Stealthy. And I went in, and when I went in, I realized that I had taken a high evo previously. So I had 4 high evo of the high evo things on me. And she's stun immune in the beginning, so I'm going to get these little Furies on me. But basically, I'm just going to enervate her, and I will trigger Dex by mistake, and that will bring me to her to an SP1. But her SP1 does nothing other than give her a miss, which you can wait out super easily. So that's what I do. But she's now taking a ton of damage. I am doing the corner Dex, but she's not going to go for it because I need to get my precision off of my SP1 here. And then I actually lose the Enervate here, which is super dumb of me to not dash back. So I have to get my Enervate back. That pushes her to an SP1. But I know at this point in time, I am fully ramped, and everything's fine. My damage is cut by, I think it's 26% or something because of the high evo buffs, debuffs. It's pretty bad. It's Inequity on top of that too, because that is an actual debuff on top of all the damage reduction and block reduction and crit reduction. It's basically everything that Stealthy needs all of is taken away by the evo buffs. And I should have known. That was bad. Because I'm the planner here, and that was bad on my part. But I think this is a cool fight regardless, and it would be way faster without the Hevos. But I will be taking Scorpion. Actually, today I'm taking Scorpion to rank 5 because I take Scorpion and Stealthy almost every war. It's nice to have. It'll be nice to have a rank 5 Scorpion just in case I need to take any fights. But you can see this is a very safe fight. Literally just fighting a Nico without any specials. But it did take almost 2 minutes, which is brutal. As you can see, that's almost double the fight time of any fight this entire video. This is the last fight of the video. This is rank 5 high evo boss. And thankfully it's not ascended, but you're going to see another Enervate cheese mechanic. He is tactic, so every time he crosses bar power, again, he gets that inexorable, and that's what makes him a menace. But if he's enervated, he doesn't ever gain any power, and he will never get the inexorable. And that is amazing and what we want. And because Stealthy does so many hits in his combo and the way that he works as far as like taking a fight, I'm able to bypass the combo detonation quite easily. And I don't have to worry about the stupid auto block thing because I don't really care. This was a little bit annoying here. I'm really trying to get the fight going, and it wasn't going, but now finally it is. So you see I have 14 there. So I have a double medium, so that gets rid of a bunch. And my full combo here, he's already almost down of that combo det, and there's a lot left. I do have the wag so I can go backwards, and there is the full combo det removed. But while I'm taking this fight down, I do want to say thank you. I am now just over 1 hour on this video. Crazy video. definitely the longest on my channel and longer than most people are willing to watch. But it's going to have everything you need to know. It's going to show you how to play Stealthy, his kit, best stat focuses for him, best relics, basically all the best matchups and nodes available to him, how he can cheese, in-depth explanation, his best synergy, um, and kind of just how he works. This is just the ultimate. I'm going to call this the ultimate Stealthy showcase and guide. Um, and again, if you guys need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, that's going to do it for that. It's probably going to cycle back to the beginning or something like that. But yeah, there it is, cycling back. um, but yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I hope that you can like, subscribe, and share the video, or whatever you do, or just use it, skip around. Yeah, shout out to my alliance, Hippo. We are Hippo Island. We're absolutely dominating. We actually just went 12-0, so 12 wins this past season. And the alliance as a whole only died 60 times, which is incredible. BG1 only died. I'm the planner in BG1. We only died 14 times the entire season. We had a couple donuts. We actually had an alliance-wide donut. Against Alliance War is my main game mode, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do play about a bit of BGs, and I apologize that there's not really any BGs showcases, BG fights in here. I'm happy to show people that, but BGs is really dead right now, and he basically just takes everything in BGs really well, and it's really fast, and it's the same way you take it in war. It's just your double debuff into SP1 rotation, and they're just dead. But there's some cool stuff there. This is more like how to use Stealthy to his ultimate capabilities. So you really need that synergy. It's hard to show the synergy off in BGs. But maybe I'll make a separate BGs Stealthy showcase. Comment down below if there's anything you specifically want to see regarding Stealthy, or anything that you missed, or if you notice anything that I missed about Stealthy, or if you have any tips and tricks, please feel free to let me know. Alright, thank you so much.